podcast people. I'm your host. My name is James Kennison, and John Stiendklauber is missing in action. He is actually traveling the world with his son. The eventual goal is to drop him off at some sort of college or something. So we're all for it, right? We want to get rid of his kid. And so today I am blessed and honored to have with me from Call Me Donovan, Donovan Atkinson. Welcome to the show, Donovan.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So tell us a little bit about yourself so that our people will love you.
Oh,
No pressure.
well,
Where are you from?
where am I from? All around. No, I'm from South Central Georgia,
All right.
so you may pick up a little bit of that accent,
You
but
you
it's not that
you
bad.
passed test one because we needed a Georgian, to
Oh,
replace John. So
that's right. That's right. So yeah, born and raised in Georgia, originally from Fitzgerald, now living in Tifton. I'm an IT guy. I run my own IT consulting business, have since 2015, so coming up on 10 years.
nice.
Been podcasting since 2011, so you beat me there. But yeah, it's what I do. I've been married 34 years, got three
Wow,
kids, with the youngest one being 27. I'm an old guy.
man,
I'm 50. I'm 54, so I'm an
54. You're
old
only
guy.
4 years older than me, though. See,
And you're old, so there.
okay, there we are. I was going to say you're a Georgian, so you started earlier than I did. That's the difference. I moved out of Georgia just in time before they got me.
Oh, yeah, I know, and the kids just kept coming. I finally figured out what was causing it, so,
Oh, yeah.
we were good there.
Yeah, until you get that snip, you're going to just keep having kids. People tell me they're done and I'm like, "Have you been to the doctor?" He says, "No." I'm like, "You ain't done.
Yeah, you ain't
You
done,
ain't
and
done."
it's not that bad.
No, it's terrible. I had a horrible time. I passed out on the way home. I mean, they told me I could drive myself home. Anyway, John is not here, so there's nobody to do a dad joke. So I figured I would step in, Donovan, and try to fill one. And I did one with just for you. It's everybody knows that I am a believer, and I just love talking about the Bible all the time. It's just like I mean, I would rather read the Bible than just about it, watching anything else in the world. It's better than Star Wars, even. I mean, barely. But anyway, so this is my joke that I made just for you. And Jesus said to John, "Come forth and receive eternal life." But John came in fifth and won a toaster instead. So
Oh, god. You need the rim shot.
I was about to say, if I wasn't going to Hades before, I am now. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's it, you're done.
I'm
Show's
done.
over.
I was just walking the line anyway. It was a tight fit. We always start with an opening story. This is our middle school drama.
Move out of the way, stupid.
It's called Stove Splash, and it's from Beckett from Brigham City, Utah. I am a sleepwalker, and so I do random things. One night I needed to use the bathroom, and there was one right next to my room, but I completely spaced. Instead, I walked into our main floor and then down the stairs, and then halfway across past the bathroom and into the kitchen. I thought I could tell the difference. You think I would be able to tell the difference between an oven and a toilet, but I decided to open the oven. I pulled down my pants. I started to pee. What is it about people peeing in the kitchen specifically? We have had so many stories where people pee in a daggum kitchen. Anyway, so I started to pee. And after that, I woke up. I wonder if he flushed. I don't know. He says, I screamed because I realized what I was doing. Oh, so he woke up midstream. Oh,
Oh,
whoa.
no.
Okay. So 3 weeks later, my mom still couldn't get the smell out. Did you try to do a broiler? Is it a self-cleaning oven? I don't know. Hope I get to hear this on the show. Beckett from Brigham City, Utah. So I really had a question about this. Why do people pee when it seems like every story we have, somebody wakes up and they pee in a trash can, they pee in the doorway of their room or in their closet or somewhere they're not supposed to. And it's it's called dream acting. It falls under the category of dream acting. It says you might act out behaviors that line up with the dream you're having. Sometimes people may pee in unexpected places or talk in their sleep. For adults and kids alike, having a full bladder and needing to pee at night can sometimes promote sleepwalking. So just having to go makes it happen. An unusual related behavior may be urinating in inappropriate locations like a bedroom doorway. I don't sleepwalk. Do you? Do you sleepwalk? Have you ever done that?
I don't sleepwalk, but I have urinated in a closet.
Okay, so you did it on purpose then.
No,
Okay, so
no.
now explain yourself because that sounds pretty dirty. Sounds pretty nasty. Huh?
Well, it's supposed to be clean comedy, but I'll keep it clean. Let's just say there were mitigating factors of the
I
alcoholic
was about to
variety.
say you was drunk off your butt, weren't you?
I did not realize I was doing it, and I did not know that I did it until the next morning when I
Oh,
woke up,
oh,
and my wife said, "Do you know what you did?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?"
oh no.
And to be fair, what had happened, we were in a new place, and, I got the bathroom from the bedroom was you would get up, you would go to the right, hit the hall, and then go back that way.
Uh,
So I got up, I went to the right, but instead of going like 10 feet, I went 2,
uh,
turned right, and apparently went into the closet and thought that was the bathroom.
close enough. Close enough. It's got 4 walls or 3 walls and a door. That's the
Yeah,
minimum requirements in the state of Georgia for a bathroom.
exactly.
Great. Oh, man. We got a review brought to you by podgagement.com. We got a couple of them, actually. In episode 169, Misspoken Menu, you guys were talking about mixing up words. And I sometimes say lower. Yeah, lawnmower for lawnmower. I love the show. And if you guys read the review, John, you are a legend. Oh, he's not even here to hear it. That's just a shame. Oh, man. He says, do your Scottish accent. Oh, well, sorry. He's gone for the next 2 weeks. Scarlet Love 13. All right. And the next one, I've been listening since episode 100 something, and I love everything about it. Please, please, please keep making them. I love listening. Lemons, Lemons, Cool Man, 42, 92, 12. Were there really that many cool men?
Apparently.
And she needed 42,000 numbers to fill it in. Anyway, leave
It's
it
her favorite number.
leave us a review on iTunes. It really helps the show. We love getting I get an email every week with all the reviews in it, and you guys are just amazing. How many? There's so many of you youngins though that use it as a communications device. It's like you're sending me a message. If you want to email me thatstoryshow@gmail.com. But when you leave a review, you're supposed to talk about how awesome the show is. That way, other people will read it and be like, "Oh, okay, that's a good idea. I'll listen to the show." So just remember that, youngins, all you youngins out there with your YouTubes and your Facebooks and your iTunes. It's time for us to do our news nugget. Here we go. All right, a YouTuber faces federal charges for helicopter fireworks stunt on a Lamborghini. I don't know about you, but I like it when YouTubers get themselves in trouble.
Yes.
Like, especially these guys that are all trying to rip off Mr. Beast by doing the most outrageous things
Mhm.
possible. So, YouTuber Alex Choi, known for car shenanigans, that's in quotes, faces federal charges for directing a video in which fireworks were launched at a speeding Lamborghini from a helicopter. The Department of Justice announced Choi, 24, is charged with placing an explosive or incendiary device on an aircraft, facing up to 10 years in prison if convicted. Holy crap.
Mhm.
It's for the lulls, man. We got to get those views. Got to get
Mhm.
those views. Prosecutors allege Choi posted a video last July titled "Destroying a Lamborghini with Fireworks." How is he going to plead not guilty with a title like that? What were you
Plus the
trying to?
evidence.
Yeah, I mean that's it right there. Um, okay, so it showed him pressing a fire missiles button that he custom 3D printed or bought.
Mhm.
While two women in a helicopter shot fireworks at the car in the El Mirage dry lake bed in San Bernardino County. Okay, so at least they were somewhere relatively safe doing unsafe things. So Choi, with over 1 million Instagram followers and nearly as many YouTube subscribers, is known for stunts like rapidly accelerating with passengers and taking a Lamborghini through a car wash. That should be against the law. He did not respond to requests for comment. Choi appeared in court and was released on a $50,000 bond with his arraignment scheduled for July 2nd. No plea was taken. Goodness gracious. God forbid I ever go to jail for something I do on a podcast.
Did you watch the video? Have you seen the video?
No, no.
I have.
Is it good?
I've
Is it worth
seen
10
parts.
years?
No. No, it's not. This actually came up, what's today? Thursday? I think it came up Monday or Tuesday on Philip DeFranco's show, and
Okay.
he actually showed clips of it, and, I mean, it looks cool, it looks awesome. They, I believe they even bought the fireworks in an area from in a county that it was legal to buy the fireworks, but where they were, it's not legal to actually have them.
Oh my goodness.
So, yeah,
Ugh.
I don't know how he's gonna get out of that one, but then again, you never know. I mean,
Yeah.
how many of these YouTubers that do crazy stuff like this actually are held accountable?
Right. Right. No, you're not wrong. It's crazy. I can't imagine what I would have to do to get arrested on an audio podcast. I
Mm.
I I I guess if I described parts of my body in like if we did a big old just sold out and did a Manscaped commercial, and I did a live
I
audio.
don't think you're going to jail for that either as
Yeah,
long
you're
as
right though. I and that's the worst thing I could think of, is you're hearing the clippers going and no, 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 it gets caught up on something. It just is like it's time to call the law. James needs to go to jail. So
if it gets caught up and it's like, "Hey!"
I guess we're not getting that sponsorship money.
Nope, nope, it doesn't do what they
I'm
say.
finishing the podcast like this. So, oh man, let's do some stories.
Let me tell y'all a story. Let me tell y'all a story.
All right, this is from Drew from Jacksonville, Texas. I didn't know they had a Jacksonville, Texas. Man,
Me either.
yeah. What the heck? There's only one of those, and it's in Florida, and it's the biggest
Exactly.
city in America land wise. So it's called Sleepy Slip. A couple years ago, I went to go visit some friends of mine for the weekend who lived about 2.5 hours from me. Between being at work all day and the drive, I didn't get to go there until about 8:30 at night. Since they were all still in college, we hadn't been up since the butt crack of dawn like I had been. They hadn't. I had. They wanted to stay up and watch a movie. So I made it about halfway through the movie before the day caught up with me and I fell asleep on the couch. Admittedly, I was stretched out on the couch underneath the blanket with a pillow under my head. So it was only a matter of time. Now I had felt mildly bloated most of the day, but honestly, I hadn't thought anything about it when I nodded off. Apparently, after having rolled over in my sleep so that I was facing the crevice between the back of the couch and the cushions, basically the opposite direction he should have been, I let out the most glorious fart that my friends had ever seen, heard, and I assume smelt. The amount of air leaving my rear caused the blanket I was under to flutter. When I woke up the next morning, one of my friends asked if I was feeling better. And I was like, yeah, but why do you ask? And I was then informed of my masterpiece from the night before. Afterwards, I went to the bathroom to check to see if I didn't need some new underwear. Drew from Jacksonville, Texas. All right.
Well, what do they say? Everything's bigger in Texas.
Oh, I like that one. I'll get you that one. Actually, I actually meant to hit this one. I'm sorry, guys. I only picked the laugh button when John makes jokes, so sorry about that. Yeah, man. Farting's the worst. I was coming home from a date night last night with my wife, and I don't know. I've had this bariatric surgery, and I have this tiny stomach, and whenever I put food in it, air comes out, and so usually it's burps, but this time it was everything down south, and we're in a rental car because our car is in the shop, and I don't know the seats. You know,
Mhm.
you can memorize the seats, and you could squeak out one, and if the seat material is a certain way, it'll either fade into the upholstery, or you can work it out. Through a series of gates or something. I don't know how to explain it. A little air path.
Mhm.
Um, what you don't want is to just sit on it and let it plop back in because it'll do that too. Um, but yeah, yeah, several times on the way home, I was talking to her. We were just having these wonderful, heartfelt conversations, and she never heard a single one. And I was so slick. So it's a gift that I'm glad I have. Especially if this is going to be an ongoing thing, for the rest of my life after I eat, I'm gonna have to poot 700 times.
Mhm.
I better get good at it. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Either that or
That'd be a skill.
prop the door open somehow. So I don't know. What's the opposite of a chip clip? What holds what holds things open? I don't know. An O-ring, a good sized piece of PVC. I don't know.
Piston puller. I don't know.
I don't either. Something to help me out, just to make it it's the word Febreze comes to mind for some reason. I just want a Febreze sound. I just want natural air to happen. So, um, to the point that if she does smell something, she's like, "Well, that wasn't James."
Of course not.
No, he wouldn't. I didn't hear a darn thing. This one's called "That Darn Cat," and it's from Jed. He says, I think my cat has always thought she owned the place, but lately she's taken it much further. I was driving home, went to pull up in the garage when I saw my cat lying right in the freaking middle, preventing me from going in. See, this is why I don't like cats. I don't own a cat. What are your thoughts on cats? What side do you fall on, Georgia boy?
At one time, we had 18.
Oh, see, because there are two kinds of cat people in Georgia, and one of them is I don't like cats. I have dogs that hunt, and
Mhm.
the other one are we raise several from outside. So
Yeah.
were they outside cats or were they inside cats?
Combination.
Yeah.
And I fixed all of them. I paid to have every one
Oh,
of them
look at
fixed.
you.
Yeah. We did so many that the very last one, the vet said, "I'm giving this one to you.
Awesome. You
Thank you
got
for
a
your
punch
service."
card, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do 17, get the 18th free. So,
Yeah. But we have one inside now. He's about 15 years old, and
oh,
we've got 2 of the originals outside and another one that just took up with us, and so we're like, "Okay."
they'll do that. All right. Well,
Mhm.
just know I hate cats. So don't take anything I say personally. But he said, I waited a moment to see if she would move. And when she didn't, I decided to slowly start moving the car forward to get her to move. But she just looked up at the car and put her freaking head back down. This is why I don't like cats right there. Feeling frustrated, I honked the horn. And again, she just looks up. But then she put her head back down. Man, I'd run over that cat so fast. Oh my gosh, I'd go to jail. I then got out of the car to move her, and it seemed like she got the message. Finally, she walked away. But as soon as I got back in the car, what did she do? She went back and laid in the middle of the garage as if I never moved her. At this point, I had to admit defeat, and I just parked in the driveway. Hope it makes it on the show. Jed. Yeah, it made it on the show. It made it on the show because it made me angry. It made me
Well, cats are kings and queens.
But are they?
They
Are they?
we
Or are
are
they just
we
buttholes?
well, they can be that too.
Yeah. See, I wrote a short article I like to read now. It's titled "Reasons I Hate Cats" by James Kennison. Okay,
Okay.
cats don't care about you. True or false? They have they ever shown any concern at all that you can
No,
recall?
they do not care about
Yeah,
you.
cats kill birds. That is another reason I don't like cats.
And rabbits and moles and everything
Anything they
else.
can catch, they'll kill it
Mhm.
and bring it
Mhm.
to you as if it's like something that they should be rewarded for.
It's an offering.
They're constantly mewing and meowing for attention.
Yes.
Yeah. Always want more food than they got.
Yes.
Yes. See, cat poop smells worse than dog or human poop.
Yes, and it goes even further than that. They constantly will throw up on you,
Oh,
especially as they get older.
nice. Nice.
I gotta replace all the carpet in my house.
Oh, cats claw and bite without provocation.
They claw the bites are usually playful, though.
Yeah, I was reaching down for a friend's cat one time and got straight up bit, blood, the whole thing. So
That can happen. Yeah,
there's some
yeah.
cats are just mean. I know they're not all the same, but some of them do that crap. Cat owners can show you scratches and sometimes scars from their cats.
Every one of us
Yeah.
in this house, every one of us.
Cats are seemingly ungrateful and entitled.
They're a-holes, yes, but they're lovable ones.
Are they? See, I don't get it. Cats are vengeful. They will remember things and take revenge,
Yes,
like put things in your bed and crap.
they're like crows.
Yeah, they're evil.
Yeah.
They don't understand the word no.
Do we understand the word no?
I do. My freaking kids did. My dog definitely does. They stare at you when you're on the toilet,
Don't let them in the bathroom.
but then they stick their paws underneath the freaking wall.
That is true.
I've
That is
seen
true.
enough YouTube
Little thing going,
videos.
"Let me in,
Yeah,
let me in."
I need to be involved in whatever you're doing. They stare at you. Okay. So they can climb up on freaking counters and curtains and stuff.
Only if you let them. We trained every one of ours not to do it.
Okay. That actually helps. But I've seen so many videos of cats knocking things over, which is the next thing on my list. They like to knock things over.
They do, and that's the reason why. Have you ever seen the GIF about, flat earthers and the reason why, if we actually had a flat earth, then we'd have these cats and they'd be knocking stuff off
And
of the flat earth.
it'd all be in the surrounding in the freezing parts of the globe where they're
Yep.
knocking crap off. That's great.
Mhm.
2 words, kitty litter. It's nasty.
And expensive.
Really, is it?
Yeah, matter of fact, I buy a 40-pound box of cat litter every 3 weeks, and it costs me $20.
Jeez. Jeez.
Oh, and yes, it is Jif. I will die on that hill.
See,
It is
I was gonna let it go, but it's GIF, okay?
No, it's not.
It
It
is.
is not.
It's
When the creator of the actual format says it is pronounced with a soft
I
G,
don't care what George Lucas did to Star Wars, okay?
it's Jif because it's an acronym, and
GIF
acronyms
is
do
a
not have to
peanut butter.
follow they do not have to follow the pronunciation rules
Uh,
of the words they're made up
we're just
of.
gonna
It's
have to
Jif.
agree to disagree, that you're wrong. All right. Um, their poop has parasites.
That is that is true.
Yeah,
That is true. No, it can have
right.
parasites.
Usually has parasites. Like by
You
default has parasites.
you can actually get some very life-threatening stuff from cats
Yeah,
out of their excretions, yeah.
yeah. So don't play around with it. And then lastly, cats are witches. Yeah.
Well, they are familiars,
Yes. Yeah, but
so
I believe even more like back in the olden days, that all that's where all the witches are. Is they're still alive and around. They just turn themselves into cats.
They're just cats
Yeah,
now.
that's where the witches are hiding. So
So I had 18 witches and warlocks in my on my
exactly.
property at one point.
Yeah,
Wow, that explains a lot.
I bet it does. I bet it does. Things were where they weren't supposed to be.
Mhm.
Yeah, so those are that is 20,000 reasons why I hate cats. Dogs don't do any of those things, by the way. They just love you. They're dumb as rocks. They never ever want to be mean to you. And so unless they've been trained to be mean, but by default they're pretty sweet. Uh
Let me ask you this.
yeah, yeah.
Big dogs or small dogs?
I don't like big dogs because they have big poops. I don't like small dogs because they're stupid, and I have 2 small dogs, and I there's one I don't like and one I hate. This is
Mhm.
well known on the podcast,
Yep.
and, I got them both for free from my mom, so I didn't pay for them, and, but they don't shed. They have hair, instead of fur,
Mhm.
but I have to trim them. And they poop outside. They do all their business outside, and so generally they're all right. It's just one of them is a total butthead. I just hate her so much. All right, I just really do. I could go on. I mean, like before I move out of my house, I'm gonna have to replace almost all the baseboards on the main level because she chewed on all of them. Like not
Mhm.
just the corners. She just went down the wall and just gnawed her way down the molding. And
Mhm.
and it turned out to be some sort of fake foam molding. So I can't even freaking patch it. It's not
Wow.
real wood. It's
Yeah.
it's it's some sort of foam. And I tried to paint over it. I tried to patch it, and it's just bubbles.
Mm.
It had a nice finish, but it's filler inside, like a 3D print or something. So it's weird. It's a pain, and I want to make her do it, but I can't. I can't without a blue fairy to wish her into a real boy. I can't do it. Um, Andrew in Louisville, Kentucky says he has a Green Day dilemma. This is good. John is going to hate that he missed out on this one. When I was in 6th grade, I just finished my math test, so we were allowed to do whatever we wanted. So I was able to listen to music. So I went to an unblocked website, as every middle school boy does, and I hit play on Green Day's greatest hits. Holiday came on, which is a great song. I have it on Beat Saber.
Mhm.
So I was jamming to that, and I thought I'd play around with a new app that was recently added to my Chromebook while listening. That was called Screencast. Dun dun dun. I was a stupid 6th grader, so I did not know what it was. So I clicked the screencast, and then I clicked a random few other things just to see what would happen. And then my music turned off, and I was confused. And then all of a sudden, the lady on the office comes over the loudspeaker saying, "Excuse me, someone is cast to the chapel, and they're playing music, and we need it to stop immediately." So I realized I was casting to the chapel. So, in other words, I had started playing Green Day in the middle of chapel by accident while the service was going on. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. I immediately shut it off and acted like nothing happened. No one ever tracked me or called me to the office, although I was sure they were going to do it. So I guess I'm the luckiest guy in the world. Hope this makes it on the show. Andrew from Louisville, Kentucky. Good Lord. Good Lord. See, I have a house full of Google home devices, these
Mhm.
little pucks. I got them
Mhm.
for on sale for 25 bucks. And I had $100 in gift store credit. And I was like, I'm never going to spend this. So I spent it on 4 of those. So we got them all over the house. And my kids used to use them, and my son would play music through it back before he got into the world of Bluetooth and cell phones and all this kind of stuff. And I just
Mhm.
had a blast uh, turning off and on his stream and him having to mess with it, not knowing because he was young, he didn't know. And then I would start playing, harpsichord music through it and stuff like that. Just stream whatever I wanted. And I think that's why it's not in his room anymore. For one, he probably thought I could hear him through it or something. But yeah, Green Day, man. I love me some Green Day.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty good. That would have been hilarious.
Okay, so I was in a chapel service. My kids went to a small Christian school in elementary, and they were doing a pretty serious service, right? And they were going to use multimedia because that's what you do in the cool services. You get up and talk for a minute, and you're like, let's take this a little further and watch this little video. And they hit play on the YouTube video, and you saw them drag the daggum video over, which is it's just trashy as mess. Anyway, then they hit F11 to maximize it. Then they hit play, and an ad starts playing right in the middle of the service. Something for Charmin, I'm sure. And I'm like, you people have this giant chapel, this big old service, is millions of dollars probably spent on keeping this building up every year, and you couldn't go for YouTube Premium
Mhm,
to cut the
mhm,
daggum ad out. Now, back in the day before YouTube Premium, when I was a kids pastor, I would rip the video off the internet, right?
mhm,
And re-encode it and then put it into ProPresenter or whatever, and what have you,
mhm.
so that I had my version of it. And I always did a fade to black, man, because kids cannot handle when a video just ends. When a video just ends, they go, oh, because for some reason in their kid head, they thought this was what we're going to do for the rest of the service. But when you fade to black, it gives them
Yeah,
that warning you were talking about earlier. You want a little warning before the ads come on in the show.
yep.
That gives them a little warning. Oh, okay, okay. It's fading out. I have to go back to listening to James now. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I love that. I love stuff like that. Man, the best stories are the ones where pastors leave their lavs on and when they go to the bathroom. Classic stuff. I never did that. But I was yelling at a parent one time. Because I had to yell at least one parent a week. It was an inner city church, and that's sometimes the only language that we understood was yelling at each other. And I was yelling at them about something right, that was I was right and they were wrong. But uh, somebody was like, Pastor James, you need to stop. I'm like, no, I know what I'm doing. She's like, no, you're broadcasting to all the kids. There's 300 kids in there. I'm like, oh crap, click. So luckily, I watch my language. So,
I was gonna say, like, as long as you didn't lose your
yeah,
religion, I
yeah,
guess you're okay.
everything was still intact. Yeah, I was all right. I didn't have anything to explain. Everybody knew because I'd yelled at their parents too, so it was all good. Uh, we got a one called Cactus Collision. This is a terrible story. It's by Drew from Brigham City, Utah. Here we go. It's terrible. I'm telling you, it's really bad. When I was younger, about 8 years ago, my family went camping in southern Utah, and we would backpack for miles and then camp. See, that's the worst part right there for certain because camping is the worst, and
I hate camping.
hiking is bad. It's just a bad time. Uh, we always went with 3 or 4 other families. That's also a recipe for disaster because how you gonna get your family to all agree on where you're supposed to go, much less 4 or 5 other families? Well,
It's true.
this trip was different than the rest because I got injured. That's an understatement. You just wait. I was going to the bathroom and I saw a cactus. So I decided to pee on the cactus like you do. Why not? As I was focused so intently on this cactus, I lost my balance, pants down, fell forward onto that cactus. Man, it hurt so bad. My dad had a few of the other dads. They both ran over to see what had happened. And when they saw, they gasped. They then carried me over, one on each arm, one on each leg, pants still down, to a tent where sat a picnic table. And they had me on it. And each of them took a pair of pliers, tweezers, and whatever first aid slash, what are those flippy things that people carry in the journeymans that they carry in their belts, that turn into
Mhm.
needle nose pliers. They pull them jokers out. And
Leatherman.
what was that?
I think it's called a Leatherman.
Yes, yes, a Leatherman. So they had some of those, and And each of them took out a pair of pliers, tweezers, or Leathermans to find out and see what they could do. And they proceeded to pull out some of these cactus needles. Each pull was to the count of three. That's the worst. And it hurt worse than anything. Each spine pulled the skin so far. And only after that would it let go. And yes, they were stuck everywhere.
Mhm.
Some people don't have to have the snip snip. So it was awful. It was embarrassing. It was painful. But after 30 minutes of what felt like 30 hours, it was over. And I was glad to have them all out. I don't remember much from that trip, but I definitely will never forget the day a cactus got mad at me for peeing on it. Hope hope this makes it on the show. My son and I really enjoy it. Drew from Brigham City, Utah.
Oh,
I've got
no.
I've gotten got by a cactus before, and man, they don't just give you one or two, man. They they go all in. Even in Georgia, I was down there in St. Simon's Island,
Mhm.
and my son stepped on something, some sort of cactus like thing, and if he hadn't had his shoes on, he would have gone to the hospital. Seriously.
Ooh, yeah.
And, so he's like frozen, "Dad, dad, dad." There's a few in his toe, in his little toe, but most of them are up in his shoe, like way up in there. And these things are so diabolical because not only are they poked in, they have spikes going the other way so that when
Mhm.
you reach for them to pull them out, they go into your daggum fingers. And so I had to find some pliers and pull those jokers out. What in the heck's going on in Georgia?
Well, I mean, my wife actually raises cactus, and
Oh,
I'm trying to figure that one out. I don't know why. I'm like, "Honey, why?" She said, "Because I can't kill these," and
yeah.
she still kills them.
Really?
Well, 1 or 2, but the majority of them.
Is it a personality type? You know, you have cats that don't like you and plants that don't like you, and I mean, do you like her? You good with her? You Is she
What, my wife?
Yeah.
Most days.
Okay, all right, good. I just wondering
I
how
mean
far this went, is there problems we need to know about? Uh,
I mean, what you gotta look at here as far as the cactus and the cats and everything else, I mean, Georgia is just the United States version of Australia.
that
When it
what, I was about to say the same thing. I heard a comedian talking about Southern kids and how tough they are,
Mhm,
and the only kids tougher would be Australian kids.
mhm,
Because we are raised in the freaking wild down there.
yep,
I mean, snakes, you know about dark water. You don't play around. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy down
yeah,
there.
yeah, I mean, and it's specifically Generation X,
Oh,
we
yeah.
are the toughest.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. Because we were out there just finding stuff, and when we found a snake, we didn't tell nobody. We had to play with it.
Yeah, well, not me, I hate
Well,
snakes.
I hate them too, but, I like torturing them, and that's a bad thing, I know, but, you get a shovel, a nice big old shovel, and you can chop that snake up starting from the tail up, and that's terrible,
I've
but
I've done that a
yeah.
couple of times, not segmented one, but I will
I
"Honey,
segment them.
we got dinner."
Yeah.
No, but I'm almost, phobia level afraid of
Yeah,
snakes,
I hate them. I hate
and
spiders. I hate
I mean, I walked out my back door one day, into our carport, and I noticed on the opposite wall, "What is that?" And it was a freaking snake that was on the wall going up,
what?
just yeah,
Defying gravity?
yes, and I was like, "No, no, 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 no." So I went and got a shovel, and I did this, I'm backed off, and I knock it down, and
Uh-huh.
then I knock it out into the driveway, and then I'm like Conan with a sword. I'm like, "Dunk,"
Right,
and
they
its
have to
head come off.
die. They have to.
Yeah, I don't care what kind it is.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sit there and ask it its pedigree
Yeah,
to figure out if it's gonna kill me or not.
I will hug a tree if it makes you happy, but I am killing that snake, I'm killing that spider, and I'm killing that cockroach. Dadgummit.
Mhm.
we don't have those giant medieval cockroaches up here,
Really?
and, my wife is so happy about that. Uh,
You got them in Georgia, baby.
Sure enough,
They're like this
they
long.
can fly too, boy. People don't know that,
Oh, yeah.
but they actually all cockroaches that size can fly, but the further north you go, the less often they do it. It has to do with temperature. That's
Mhm,
why in Florida, South Georgia and Florida, they will fly. Um, I didn't realize that. Didn't know that, man.
mhm,
One time we was being babysitted by these two old people, and they were sitting on the couch, and we were going to show them how we played the piano. So we get over on the piano and we open up this first piece of sheet music, and a big old cockroach comes flying just straight past me. I did a Neo and dodged it somehow, like bullet time. But that joker
mhm,
went all the way across the living room and right between their heads, and both their heads on the couch go whoop, separated like the Red Sea. And that thing hit the wall with a snap and fell.
mhm.
And my other sisters pounced on it and destroyed it and took it outside. But you have to be careful where you squish some things in the house because they have guts.
Mhm.
So, anyway.
Yeah.
All right, Donovan, you came prepared with a little story of your own, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
All right, now's the time, homeboy. Now is the time.
Okay, so we just kinda touched on it a little bit, but this was different.
Okay.
So, remember I told you that I'm originally from Fitzgerald, Georgia,
Okay.
which is roughly about 35 miles, northeast from here.
Okay.
Born and raised there. So, little piece of land, about 2 acres. Mom and dad pass away. Dad passed in 2013, mom passed in 2019, so I inherited all of this.
Mm.
Now, it's a the property has a 1983 double wide mobile home on it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so, of course, I had to start taking care of the yards. So, when it came that time of the year, springtime, summertime, about every other week, I was going over there on Fridays, cutting the grass, took roughly about 3 hours, all of this kinda stuff.
Goodness.
Yeah. So last year, I think this might have been the first time I had to go over there, I can't remember, but it was around I think it was sometime in June, might have been the end of May, sometime in June. And, I was doing my work, cutting the grass. Now, if you know anything about mobile homes, you know they have there's only about a handful of designs of
Yeah.
mobile homes. All right. So this one is a typical where you walk in the back door and that's your utility room. You've got a wash machine and dryer on the right hand side.
Yeah.
There used to be like a sink where you could wash off and all of that. Mom and dad took that out and converted it to storage. Then you go on to the left, you go into this tiny little dining room and kitchen area. All right.
All right.
So I I'd already decided that I was going to sell the place because of some other, the upkeep was just getting crazy and all of that.
Yeah.
So I was finishing up the yards, and as I do, I have to come off the lawnmower. I have to go in, use the bathroom. So I think I had just finished and I was about to put the lawnmower up, but I had to come in, I had to use the bathroom. So I'm walking through the living room, I'm walking through the kitchen little dining area, and I'm walking into the utility room. And you know how when something doesn't register in your brain,
Yeah.
but
It happens
something
a lot.
registers in your body?
Okay.
And so I get to the door and my spider sense starts going off and I'm like, I don't understand what's happening here. And then I swear I heard this, but I know it's not true. But it's something like, "What's up?" And I slowly turn, and there is okay, standard washer, standard dryer.
Right.
They're roughly about 2.5, 3 feet wide. Top loading wash machine. So you got the little piece that comes up on the back about 6 inches or whatever
Right.
that's got
Right.
the controls.
Yeah.
I look over there, and there is a snake
Oh,
stretched out across both of those from the washing machine to the dryer. And I couldn't move initially.
what did he say
So
again? What did he say to you? Yeah.
what's up?
He was chilling, dude.
He was just chilling. So when I finally regained my faculties and I could get my legs to move,
Oh,
the door come flying open. I jumped out on this little porch area that one of my relatives had built for my mom with a ramp so she could use her rascal to get
mm,
up and down. And so I'm standing there and I'm like, I just kind of lean over and look, and I'm like, because I had to make sure that I could see what I thought I saw. And of course, the next thing you do is I took a picture. So I have a picture of this. And then I get on Signal because that's what we use for our family chat. And I said, "Yo, you guys are not going to believe what is going on here." And I send them the picture. And of course, you can imagine what everything that was going on, the commotion in there, because they know how I feel about snakes.
uh-huh.
So I'm walking around outside and I'm like, okay,
What do I
what am I going to do?
what do
There's
I
a
do?
snake in the house. How do I get this snake out of the house? I'm like, okay, all right. I need to go check on this. Let's see, what have I got out here? I've got the handle of what was a rake or something like that.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay. So I ease back in. There's no snake.
Oh, that's the worst kind of snake. It's a snake you
So
can't
then,
see.
so then I gently lean over and look behind the washer and dryer, and
No.
he's hanging out there on the floor.
Oh, gosh, I just
So
feel it.
I was like, you know what? I will let the guy, he's a friend of mine. I'll let the guy know that I'm selling this place too, that the snake is free. I close everything up,
Ah!
lock the door.
You get a free
I'm
pet
out of there.
snake. That's amazing. Did you freaking tell him for real?
I did.
That
I did. I told him.
there's a snake in my boot. There's a snake in my double wide.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Best we could figure out is behind the wash machine and dryer, some of that wall had been removed
Mm,
at some point, and so you've got the cold and the hot lines coming up, but there was also another hole for something else that either was there or I don't know what it was. Guess he came along, got up under the double wide, in through that insulation, and found that hole and was looking for someplace cool.
right.
So I told my friend, I'm like, "You probably need to, like, seal all those holes up
Yeah.
because I have no idea where the snake is." And, but
Acrobatic
yeah.
snakes that can climb up into the bottom of I mean, because a trailer is a good 3.5 feet off the ground,
Yeah.
right? I mean, with on the blocks and everything,
Yeah.
and then to climb up on top of the or the wash machine and dryer. I mean, what are you grabbing onto?
That right there is what got me.
Yeah.
I mean, I was like, "How did you get up here?" And then I thought back, the snake that was hanging out on the wall in the carport, and I went, "Is this some supernatural feat
Yeah,
of
it
snakes
was.
that I was never aware of?" I mean, first the apple, now this. I mean, come on.
For you just were missing a naked lady, and then you'd have been recreating, the fall. So,
Yeah. Who who realized the Garden of Eden was in Fitzgerald, Georgia?
yeah, who knew? In a double wide. It
Mhm.
explains a lot, actually. You know, did God really say that this was the best you could do? Well, you know what? A triple wide would have been nice. I don't know. Anyway,
Yeah. Mm.
I just think it's interesting that you're a parcel tongue. Do you even know what that means? Or
Yes, I
oh,
do.
you are a Harry Potter person then. Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, you could.
Seen every one of them.
All right. Did you read every one of them though?
Oh, heck no.
Oh!
My kids did.
Okay. No,
I think my oldest Devin, he did. He got into the books, but
they're so
no,
they're they're so
I do like to read, but honestly, once I've seen the movie of
yeah,
something, I'm not gonna go read the
I don't
book.
blame you. You're not missing much. They were faithful to the books, so faithful to the books. It yeah, you just didn't get mad at it after you watched those movies. So, well, anyway, thanks for sharing with us your special snake story. That was freaking amazing. What did it say again? It said, "What's up?" Is that
Yeah,
this was
that's it.
snakes reached out through the nether and communicated to you. Like,
He was trying to let me know he was
check
there.
me out, yo. Check me out. I'm stretched out. I'm living the life. Oh,
Hey, I'll send you the picture.
do
You'll
it.
see what I'm talking
Do
about.
it, man. Oh, that'd be awesome. All right, just some announcements real quick. We got a theme show. Pesky Parents is coming up soon. I'm loving the feedback that we're getting. We're getting lots of stories. We are going to be doing this live at NarthexCon. So we need your stuff in by the 22nd at the latest. But the sooner you get it in, the better. Just go to thatstoryshow.com, click submit a story, and then put hashtag pesky in the title somewhere. All right, that would help. Speaking of NarthexCon, that's coming up quick. June 29th, Saturday, June 29th, St. Louis, Missouri, free event. Register at narthexcon.com. You're running out of time. The t-shirt deadline is gone. It's over. I submitted the t-shirts today. They are ordered, but it is still not too late to come. So register at narthexcon.com or go to nlcast.com and click the banner at the top of the screen. Still want you guys listening to the show my wife and I do called We're Both Right, we'rebothright.com, or look it up in your favorite podcast app. Also, GOK, the Gospel of Kennison, has now been rebranded to Outliving Depression. Look it up, check it out. If it's your thing, enjoy it. I understand, Donovan, you checked it out the other day. You approve? Does it get the thumbs up? Okay, so Donovan listens, so you have no excuse because Donovan's one of the coolest. So here we
I
are.
listened to all of it.
Really?
Yeah. Matter of fact, I played, I think I played your last one between you and your wife the other day. I played it for my wife.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I started listening to it and I was like, no, you got to hear this. And she enjoyed it because I've been trying to get her to let's do a couples podcast. The last time we did it, we did one that was based around wine. It was called Uncorked.
Uh-huh.
And, that's not something I can do now. So,
Right.
and I feel like we've got something unique, Gen X, been married for 34 years.
Right.
We're, mid 50s, three adult children, live in the South.
Yeah.
We're in the Bible Belt and we're not Christians. So there you go.
you got plenty to talk about. Plenty of stuff. That's great. That's great. Hats are available on Etsy.com/NLCast. Get them because they're going to be gone by the time NarthexCon rolls around. I'm going to tell you that right now. If I can't sell them, I'm going to give them away. And then this podcast is possible because of our supporting listeners on Patreon. Get That Story Show Premium, which includes ad-free listening, swag, and a weekly bonus podcast. Try it out free for 7 days at patreon.com/thatstoryshow. Special thanks to our producers, James Spangler, Carrie Wright, and Christopher Tynan. It is time for us to get out of here. Guys, do you have a real life story that you'd like featured on a future episode? I bet you do. Submit your story today at thatstoryshow.com. And remember, when something weird, annoying, embarrassing, or painful happens to you, don't get stressed, don't get depressed, and don't let your dad get those pliers near your junk. Just think, hey, this belongs on That Story Show. We'll see you guys next week. Bye. Thanks, Donovan.
Thank you.
I am a snake and I'm chilling in the double wide, hanging out on top of the washing jar. I'm doing my thing. I'm gonna speak. I'm gonna say, hey, what's up to this geek? He runs away and I don't even bother. I just hide down behind while he's looking for something or other to hit me with. But I'm way down low. He can't handle it. He doesn't know what to do or where to go. So he locks me in and just tells the guy, hey, there's a snake inside. So that's the way it is. When you're a Georgia snake, you do it just what you want. You do whatever it takes. And now I own a double wide and it's all mine because those people are scared. And I don't mind. Yeah. All right. That's our recap song for this week, guys. That's all I got. We'll see you guys next time. Thanks, Donovan. You're the best, man.
Appreciate it.
All right. Everybody, take it easy and God bless.